So this is a very special episode for me. This is my 40-year anniversary of when I first arrived in Naples for my very first posting in the Navy. So what better way than to celebrate my first posting in Naples 40 years ago with a pasta dish. And one of my all-time favorite pasta dishes, tortellini con panna. It's actually probably the second dish that I had while I was there. This nice little restaurant right at the top of our hill where we lived up in a little town of Pozzuoli. And oh my God, they had the best of everything in this restaurant. They had the best pizza, the best pastas. I mean, you name it, they couldn't mess up anything. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing tortellini con panna, basically tortellini and cream sauce. And I'm going to do it as traditional as I can. And I've seen a few different versions of this, but the version I'm doing today is a version that I see just about everywhere. I had it in Naples, I had it in Sicily, I've even had it around here. So it's normally, like restaurants around here, they're calling it tortellini della casa, whatever they want to call it. But that's what we're doing today. I'm going to show you just how easy it is. We're going to celebrate 40 years. I'm going to do a lot of shout outs during this episode because I'm going to try to think of everybody that I was stationed with or worked with while I was over in Naples. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how. Let's party. Well, you saw it in the intro what I'm doing, tortellini con panna, as traditional as I can. So let's get this started. I'm going to be doing a lot of different shout outs in this episode. My very first shout out is to Freddie and Philip Thomas, my first two roommates over in Naples. So hey, this shout out's to you. Alright, so what goes in this? Well, we got tortellini. I got about a pound and a quarter of fresh tortellini here. It's only going to take about 3 minutes to cook. I've got water boiling right now. I've got some mushrooms that I'm going to go ahead and slice up. Actually, I'm going to cut them in half. I'm going to slice them. I've got a little chunk of ham. You know, a little goes a long way. Just a little chunk of ham. That's maybe like 4 ounces of ham. I have some peas here. Probably about 3/4 of a cup of frozen peas. Some parmigiano. And the cream. A little salt and pepper. And that's it, man. This is so freaking easy. So let me get started and let's go ahead and prep these mushrooms. All I'm going to do is cut them in half. And I'm going to put a fairly thick cut on these, or slice. I don't want them too thin. Then we're going to go ahead, once I have these prepped and my ham prepped, we're going to go ahead and do some sauteing. Comes together very quickly. Basically I'm going to be sauteing the mushrooms, the peas, the ham together. We'll add a little cream to it, a little parmigiano. We'll go ahead and throw in the cooked tortellini, and we'll be eating like kings in Naples and queens and all those. Let me see, another shout out. Hey, Teresa Sawyer out there. MS2's Teresa Sawyer, this shout out's to you as well. We were all so lucky to be stationed in Naples. Oh, what a time. Alright, mushrooms prepped. Ham, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ham kind of like julienne slices. So let me just kind of cut a few slices here. And all I'm going to do is julienne this, like little matchsticks. That's it. If I had some speck, prosciutto di Parma, I'd be cutting that up. But I have what I have, so that's what I'm going to use. You could even use sausage if you wanted to. So there we go. My ham is prepped. We'll put that to the side. Okay, so let me clear this out of the way and I'll get my sauteing station set up. So we'll be back in a sec. The pan is heating up. Let's go ahead. I've got about 3 tablespoons of butter I'm going to throw in here. I'm also going to go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil. About 2 tablespoons. Get this going here. Saute, saute, saute. Alright, let's get our mushrooms in here. In go the mushrooms. We're going to let these saute just until they sweat a little bit. Start rendering some of the moisture out of them. I'm not going to go all brown on these. I like to keep them a little bit pale. Probably in a couple minutes we'll be adding our peas, and then we'll finish it off with the ham, a little cream, some cheese, bada bing, bada boom. I don't think they say that in Naples. So there we go. We'll just let this cook off a little bit, then we'll move on to the next step, which will be the peas. Alright, the mushrooms are sweating down a little bit now, releasing some of the their juices, the water, the liquids that's retained in. So let's go ahead and get our peas in here. Give it a little turn. I guarantee if you're not making this, you'll be making it. Alright, so we'll let this go for about another 2 minutes, then we'll go in with the ham. Okay, another 2 minutes down. Time for the ham. Go ahead and sprinkle this in. Alright, we'll saute this again for about another 2 minutes. Now it's just about getting time to go ahead and throw the tortellini on. So just before I add the cream, I'm going to put the tortellini into the boiling water, which I've generously salted. Does this not look fantastic to you? Bet you wish you were here dining with us tonight. Alright, so we got about 1 more minute. Now I'm going to take some of this off. I'm going to save it for garnish. Okay, so I've cut my burner down a bit. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and get my tortellinis cooking in the water over there, boiling away. Fresh, it's going to take about 3 minutes. So I'll get these in and we'll come on back. Okay, now we're ready for some cream. And I'm probably going to put about a cup and a half to 2 cups in here. There we go. Now at this point, I'm only going to go ahead and spice it up with some pepper. I'm not going to go ahead and put any salt in here yet, because you know why. The pasta is generously salted, so we may not need it. Alright, we're going to just kick this up a little bit. Get it to a simmer. And we're almost in the home stretch here, believe it or not. Actually, I do need to add the cheese to it. So once it comes up to a temperature a little bit more, I'll get the cheese in so we can go ahead and that cheese will just basically almost instantly melt. Alright, so we got some simmering here. I'm going to cut this down just a little bit and straight in, if I can hold this right, straight in with our Parmesan. I'm probably going to end up putting about, I don't know, 1/3 of a cup. And the Parmesan has a little saltiness to it as well. So, again, holding off on salting anything. Alright, cheese is in. Let's cut this all the way down. This will also help to tighten this up a little bit. The starches from the pasta will also tighten this up. And if we need to thin it down at all, we'll reserve some of that pasta water to help thin it down. But we're almost here. Go ahead and give this a taste. Amarone. This is banging. This is money right here. Okay, we're back, and the tortellini is done, or just almost done. We'll finish it off here in the sauce. Hey, shout out to Dan Slay, Air Force. I think he was a senior airman. Dan Slay. Let me see who else. Victor Soto, Staff Sergeant Victor Soto. Hey, who just recently retired from the U.S. Postal Service as well. So congratulations, Vic. Hey, another shout out. Staff Sergeant Jose Santiago, another Air Force dude. Another Air Force person that was stationed with us, Tech Sergeant Jody Taylor. shout out to you. All right. Now I'm just going to kind of fold this in. Ain't no way I'm going to be slinging this up in the air, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold in the tortellini. Shout out to MS2 Susan Toothacher. Susie Q, shout out to you. Hey, I went back to Naples, I don't know, mid-90s. So it was like almost after 10 years that I had left there previously, and Susie was back. So that was a pretty cool surprise to see her there. Okay, so we have all the tortellini in here. I'm just going to go ahead and bring the heat up a little bit more, and this is thickening up nicely. This is tortellini con panna right here. You're seeing it. You can make this at home, easy peasy, Japanese. We're not talking Japanese right now. Alright, so we've got probably about 1 more minute to go on this, and we'll be done. Let me see. Another shout out. Hey, MS3 Willie Wilson. You didn't work at the True Mess, but he worked with the Admiral. So hey, this shout out is to you, Willie. Alright, we've got about 30 seconds left to go here. It's looking good, looking delicious, smelling awesome. I'm back in Pozzuoli. Another shout out, get some officers out of the way. Lieutenant Wayne Notarangelo, our Divo, shout out to you. And Lieutenant Spangler, my very first Divo in the Navy, shout out to you. Hope I can get in everybody. Ed Hess, MSSN Ed Hess, shout out to you, buddy. Hope all is going well in your land. And if I forgot anybody, I'm sorry. Let me cover some of the civilians here. We had Iliano, one of our head chefs, Chiantesi, another head chef, Gennaro, in charge of all the messmen. I only remember like 2 messmen, Pino and Tino. Easy ones to remember. Alright, we're just about here. Shout out to MSSN Kendrick Williams. This one's to you. Wow. Would you look at this? What, 20 minutes maybe? At the most? It's done. I mean, it is done. And it's looking good. Well, only one thing left to do, and that's to taste it. So let me grab a fork. Could I go in with some more cheese right now? Yeah, maybe. But I don't want to. It was cheesy enough earlier. So let me go ahead, get some of this tortellini, some mushroom. Feet will probably fall off. And let's go in for this. That's what I'm talking about. That is freaking spot on. And this is Naples, Pozzuoli, everywhere I've ever had it, including, let me see, New Freedom, Pennsylvania. They have an awesome tortellini da casa down there. And hey, simple ingredients, really quick. You saw just how easy it is to make, and you should be trying to make that as well. So, couple more shout outs here that I can remember. MS2 Mike Straub, one of the watch captains there at Av South Troop Mess, and MS1 Jack Beasley, shout out too. He was our galley captain. And I can't forget to mention our chiefs. Now we had 2 of them there. I don't know why we had 2. It was a small mess, but actually we ended up having 3. I don't know how that happened, but Chief Picardo, Chief Mactal, and Chief Aquino, shout out to you guys. I hope you're all doing well. And so hey, I covered as many as I could. If I forgot you, I'm sorry. This was a pleasure. Had a little bonus material at the end. Got a few photos of my early days there in Naples, back when I was a skinny cook. Probably shouldn't be trusting me back then, because you're not supposed to trust a skinny cook. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and most importantly, share. So until next time, thanks, and we'll see you.